Let's go!
If we could address you directly right now.
Everything comes full circle.
Woo!
That's number one.
I don't tell him what questions to ask me.
There are a lot of people around town that have the same question.
Brush my teeth. I'm a good watch in the morning.
I can't confirm or deny.
You know, just keep going a little bit longer here, Mike. Keep going a little bit longer.
Welcome back to welcome back to the postgame show. I don't even know where the hell I am. I'm shell-shocked after a loss to Miami from the Syracuse Orange. Going into the game, I said Syracuse can't turn the ball over more than 10 times, and they've got to defend Miami from the three because they don't shoot the ball from the three well. Maybe play zone, whatnot. Miami ends up shooting 50% from the three, 10 of 20. Syracuse, 8 of 21. Man, turnovers are brutal. And just watching Peter Mastorovich throw a ball into the crowd for no reason. Jaquan Carlos trying to force the post for no reason. I don't know. It's a bad look. Defense was absolutely embarrassing. It's you lost to the worst team in the ACC. They're not the first team to ever lose to the worst team in the ACC. No losses, there's good wins, there's bad losses, but it's still a loss. Ultimately, a loss of just, you lose to the worst team. It's bad. You're back on the ACC bubble of the ACC tournament, but it changes nothing. It absolutely changes nothing. What just happened? The team is the team. The coach is the coach. What did you see in this game? 315-437-7644. I would like for you to call in and tell me what you thought about it. 91 points to Miami. Stupid turnovers. Bad defense. That's what I saw. The inability to get Eddie Lampkin the basketball in the second half. He missed a dunk. Well, yeah, we'll all laugh about that. Guy had 6 assists and no turnovers. When the ball was running through him, things were going well. Let's go to Tony in North Carolina. Tony, what's up?
Hey, I agree with everything that you're saying. And my question is, why don't we kind of pressure the guy bringing the ball up? It seems like we let them get into a rhythm when they get in their offense, and putting a little bit of pressure, as they did to us, with either Carlos or Starling bringing the ball up, kind of, doesn't really allow you to say your offense as good as you want to. I mean, that's just my observation. I just don't understand why we can't. Our defense is not worth anything, so you might as well try something here. And it just seems like this is the old Boeheim. Let's get down to about 2 minutes and press them, really, and then the offense is really, what kind of offense is that? We can go back to 3-4 years ago where, we're looking at the offense, everybody's just gunning from the outside. So, that's my take on it. I don't know what I understand the defense is awful. It's been that way all year. Turnovers, you would think by this point in time, they would have addressed that and cleaned that up. But it just seems to happen.
Yeah.
It
might be a lack of athletes, too. This team may not be that athletic. I don't know. The pressing thing, getting up on them, when it's Carlos, they can't keep people in front of them And if you give the guard a downhill run from the backcourt, that's the only thing I can think of, is if that guard gets by our guard before he gets over half court, they're getting right to the basket. And that's a problem. And so that's why I would assume they're not doing it. But I don't know. 315-437-7644. Let's line up the calls. Let's hear it. I'm not going to argue with you tonight. I'm just going to let you talk. So if you want to call in and vent, go ahead. But yeah, my take is they don't press is because if whoever's playing guard gets beat, they're going straight to the rim. They were 5-18, Paulie, Cuse Sports. Yeah, I know. I don't get what that means. Syracuse has lost to the worst team in the ACC with better teams. It's a bad loss, yes, but it happens. It was bad defense. So get your calls in now, 315-437-7644. I've got a frozen pizza to eat. It's the Labatt Blue call-in line. So call in. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm giving you a free reign. Say what you want. All right? Can't wait to hear from you. ESPN Radio Syracuse. (315-437-7644). Prince Merck. Bring back Brent Axe. Okay. Call in, guys, instead of just chatting. Come put. Everybody's waiting for Pat. Pat doesn't like calling in to me because I push back on him. I'm going to blow through this if nobody calls me. I don't think people like.
I've never done this before, Paulie. Give me your instant reaction. The people of TikTok need your reaction. Syracuse. It's the last place Miami.
You're welcome.
That's all you got?
Yep.
TikTok.
Yeah, you can put the music to. Where? The reason they lost is because Jordan stopped doing the theme to Benny Hill. Phone's ringing. Guys, it doesn't. The lost tickets and stuff. If he starts winning next year, you'll all be back. Like, it doesn't matter. A new coach doesn't mean people will start coming or wins. He's got Jim Boeheim sitting across the building from him. He doesn't need an experienced guy on the bench. Because they like playing for the coach, hoops rules, and they are going to be able to pay him. Hopefully. That's who I want, Gavendo, but I don't know if it'll happen. If anybody says Huggy Bear again, I'm going to snap. I'm not sticking up for it. I just know it's coming back next year, and you got to live with it. If he doesn't win next year, he'll get fired. Pat got owned last time he called me because he brought up Missouri, and I did research on him. Yep, it stinks without Steve. Yeah, like he's got an experienced guy. He's also got a former head coach on the bench. Maybe we could do that for SMU if he wants to.
0.7 and 100.1. This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
It sure is. 315-437-7644 is the Bat Blue call-in line. Let it out, guys. Let it out. Let's hear from Sean and Cicero. Sean, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing tonight?
Good.
All right, I was just calling in. I just hear from Sean and Cicero. Sean,
turn your radio down.
oh, sorry.
No problem. I love being able to say that. I haven't done that since like 1993. All right, go ahead.
All right, sorry, guys. I had my Cuse game day on here. All right, so what's going on with this defense? This is like the worst defense I've seen since like ever. I've never seen Syracuse play such a crappy defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Somebody mentioned this is worse than the Buddy Boeheim, Jimmy Boeheim year. That team gave up 72 points a game. This year they're giving up 77.
Yeah, and it's crazy because with Jimmy, you know, and Buddy, they had like offense. They had something to step back to a little bit. This year they have no offense. JJ's just rushing the lane, trying to lay the ball in, get a foul, and get to the line, but then he gets to the line, he can't make foul shots. He did good tonight. But it's crazy to me.
Yeah, there's no defensive rotation. Whoever gets beat, it's one pass, one pick, and they're at the basket. It's gross to watch.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you see it like I see it? When there is a guard coming down the lane and Eddie Lampkin is in the middle of the lane, he turns to box his guy out before he steps up.
You are preaching to the choir right now.
My God.
I scream about it all the time. I've never seen a guy avoid contact or defend the rim like Eddie Lampkin.
I can't, and there's no other rotation. There's like if Eddie would step up, someone could rotate over to the person he's playing because most of the time that person's a center, and they're not going to step out and hit a three. You know what? They'd step in and drive to the lane, then you could take a charge.
Yeah, it's frustrating to watch.
Oh my goodness! But man, I love listening to you and Steve. I love you jabbing at him, man. It's awesome in the morning or in the afternoon. I love you guys. So
thanks, Sean. You're one of the few people that like me. Thank you.
Oh, it's awesome.
All right, thanks for calling it. Let's go to Mike. I did pay Sean to call in. Mike, what's up?
Yeah, Paulie. I'm beyond the anger, I know, and I think that I just wanted to say that I'm one of those people that said, yeah, Red should be let go.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, what is it with these people who are defending Red and they get angry when anybody even suggests that he be let go?
Because it's not that they get angry. It's not going to happen. That's the problem. That's why we get sick of talking about it. Because he's got one more year. But it's just beating a dead horse, and we're just sick. Like, let's talk about what happened in the game and what's going to happen in the future, and just leave what's not going to happen this year to die. Because if he doesn't win next year, he's out.
Well, 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 who knows? I don't really trust the university at this point. My question is this, and again, I don't know Jim Boeheim personally, but I have my thought is, my opinion is that I think Jim Boeheim is the only one keeping him there right now. That's my opinion about it.
No, that's not true at all.
So you think that some of the people involved would have already thought, this guy he's only over his head. He should have started at a smaller school, kind of like what GMAC did. He went to a smaller school. He realized,
GMAC would have taken this job if it was offered to him too.
I think, I would have. I don't care. Obviously, even for the money, you're going to do that. But I think, I think he realized that this is the natural way that most coaches start at a smaller school to prove themselves. Everybody does that. And again, I already knew that.
Our last head coach didn't do that.
Well, he was one of the rare few.
Yeah.
It rarely happens.
Look, they just got to get better with the portal this year. This team isn't good, and I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. And if, like Jim Boeheim said it perfect on our show, if Red loses with good players, he's going to get fired.
Yeah, and that's my other question is, Red is he's the one that picks some of these portal players.
Yes, and we brought this up too because they didn't have a GM last year. UNC has realized it this year. You can't do this without a GM, and they have one now going into the transfer portal.
That's good, but my question is about judgment. You take a few guys from smaller schools. Okay?
Yeah, we also don't know what we don't know what. See, this is where I defend. They may have just been awful in their talent evaluation, but without me seeing a draft board of how they went about ending up with these guys, I can't be critical of it because I don't know if they had three guys ahead of one player and they got outbid in every one. Or something else happened, so I can't be critical unless I know that was the what the case is there. Maybe,
but I think that what happened that I think they were just hoping that at least one of them was going to hit big. That hey, let's if I get a diamond in the rough here, if I get somebody, that's going to make me look even better. Maybe they couldn't get someone bigger than that.
Yeah, but, I think that was the case.
It's possible, yeah. But I mean, it just seems like when you're watching them on this court, it just seems like I don't know. The coaching seems lacking. They're not. You see that it's disorganized. There's just something missing there.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's coaching. I got to see it back-to-back years. Like last year wasn't as bad as everybody wants to act like it was. But if this happens again, we've been spoiled as Syracuse fans. And we've never gone through this, and we're going through it, and we don't know how to handle it. But I think you got to let Red try and figure it out. And if not, he'll be gone, and we'll complain about the next coach. 315-437-7644 is the number if you would like to call in. 315-437-7644. It's the Labatt Blue calling line. Would love to hear from you. I'm being nice tonight. We'll find out. If I can keep it up. See if you can push me over the edge. I'd like to hear from you. It's ESPN Radio Syracuse.
The Sports Show with Cody Mack.
LA looked real good, and they looked so good that it made Shannon Sharp claim one of the crazier things I've heard. However, once he starts saying it, I'm kind of...
Gaper, I was trying to have a conversation with the guy. Armosaurus, everybody but us saw it that way. All the computers, Kempom had him at 9 wins this year. They did not put a good roster together. I laughed at Kempom, but it's bad. Mike, you don't see what the people say to me or how they talk to me. I did have a nice gentleman come up to me at Nichols and go, "I'm a friend of your program." And he shook my hand at Nichols. And the fact that he knew friend of the program was funny to me. But then he was like, "I didn't know if it was you." And then he pointed at my leg, and I still had my press pass from the game on. So Yes, I am a local celebrity. Very CNY famous, as we like to call it. No, I was buying. What the hell was I buying yesterday? I've been to the store like every day this week. What the hell did I buy yesterday? I was buying my dinner. Oh, I think I bought pork chops and some barbecue sauce. Oh, I miss March Madness too because I get paid per game. I miss it. I don't think that the people who donate dislike red. There might be other people on the hill they dislike, but it's not red. Like, I think the big cash donors are rooting for red. That's just my take on the situation. Nichols is a local grocery store. Thanks, everybody. When did this start? I'm not used to this. Everybody get me mad. I wanted people to get... I'm starting to chub up and cry a little bit. Who cares what Adam thinks of red? I'm an idiot. Thank you. Thank you. My IQ is beyond low. Thank you, Merc. They do have great meat there. I shop at Wegmans for my groceries, and I buy my meat at Nichols. That's exactly what my mom taught me that. I do not want to co-host with. I almost gave Pat a show. That's a true story. Everybody in the building told me not to do it, and they were way ahead of the curve on that. I get it. I eat Red's penis. That's a good joke. That's a good joke.
Radio
97.7 FM Syracuse
and 100.1 FM Oswego. This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
Welcome back to Orange Nation. Not Orange Nation, postgame. Why am I so used to saying that? I'm just sleepwalking through this. I'm starving. I want a frozen pizza. I got in my car. 315-437-7644 is the number. And let's go to Jim in Pennsylvania. Jim, what's up?
Hey, Paulie, what's happening? I wanted to give you something to do between now and by the time you get to that frozen pizza. I hope it's a good one. I told Jordan I called in because my sons called me who are in different parts of the country and said they were in the chat and said, Dad, people are asking if you're going to call in. So I thought, well, I guess I should get on the horn. So I'll try to be a little more rational than last week. Last week wasn't irrational on my part, I think, based on expecting something different, right? The old Einstein phrase, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result. I don't think anyone in their right mind is expecting, you know, anything other than what we've gotten so far this season based on all the things we've talked about, the fact that we didn't do a good job in the portal, you know, numerous other things. And I definitely am not in the camp of coming down on Red. I do say that next year is the year. Let's see. He's got, you know, another good recruiting class coming in. Let's see what the offseason brings. But I do want to say rationally, I think probably I speak for a lot of people when I say that, you know, I live and breathe in the wintertime for Syracuse basketball, right? This is what I've spent 50-plus years of my life following and enjoying as my wintertime entertainment. You know, there's nothing much else to do when it's cold than watch college basketball. I'd rather watch the team I love more than anyone else. And, losing's hard, and you just sit, and the idea, it's not even like baseball. In baseball, a hot stove, when there's transactions happening in the wintertime and people sitting around and wondering who's going to be signed, at least there's something. There's winter caravans, you go to the dinner, you talk, you meet the players,
well,
whatever.
we got that now in basketball, Jim. We got that now. You're going to have the transfer portal. We've got a hot stove every year now.
Right. But it feels like with the losing happening now, you already know the end result of what's going to happen at the end of the season. So we're waiting even longer. It's not like, hey, my team almost made a run to the playoffs in baseball. I'm a Phillies fan. The Phillies came up short and went to the very end late in the season when they all, decided to collapse again. But with this, it just feels like the sitting through losses makes it hard to sit around and think, oh, my God, I got to wait. I know there'll be excitement in the spring with the portal. Hopefully there's excitement, that is. But it's just hard to sit here and, but it is what it is. Hey, we're not curing cancer. We're not ending, hatred and bigotry and all the real issues that we all follow sports to get away from. So when your entertainment to get away from the real world isn't going well, it just, my life is spent with great memories. I've said it a million times on here before, December 6th, 1989, when I was sitting courtside at the Greensboro Coliseum watching us stomp out a Duke team with Bobby Hurley and Leitner. Like, that was awesome. I love that moment. I miss those days.
Spoiled here.
Get back to them.
We've been spoiled here, and we will get back to them, I think. I don't know if Red's going to get them there, but I think Syracuse will get back to them, and it'll happen. We're not used to this. And
yeah, no, you're right. I agree. Jim says next year with the money it's going to change, and hey, he's in the Hall of Fame for a reason.
It has to change.
So hopefully he's right.
Yeah, it has to change.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I don't want. Everybody says I'm not critical. It has to change. This is not acceptable for Syracuse. Laker says Paulie Eshu has gone through and had a losing record under. Yeah. The losing record was the first one in 40 some odd years, if not more than that. It's just they hadn't had a losing season in my lifetime, so it was 50 something years. Like it's been pretty cushy here. It's getting to the point where it's not acceptable anymore. And they've got to do a better job in the portal this year. They got to do a better job at coaching. They've got to do a better job on defense. They've got to retain players. So it's not like this is another thing. How he said it's not curing cancer. Like, I don't mean to get on a soapbox, but like don't let your favorite team get you angry for more than 5 minutes. Like if it's more than 5 minutes after a game and you haven't put it behind you, just let it go. There's a lot of things worse in life than Syracuse sucking. You'll be okay. Let's go to Jack in North Carolina. Jack, what's up? You there, Jack?
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
I just want to first say that I think the fans are coming down on Red way too hard. We just had a coach for 40-something years, did a great job. Red had 20 wins last year. He was awesome last year. It's just a tough year. We're trying to find a new way to go about the new college basketball. I just think people are coming down in too hard. Let's give them next year and see what happens after that.
All right. I agree with you. Jack, good call in North Carolina. I don't know what he was doing with his phone, but that was a good call. 315-437-7644. You still got time. Still got time to get your opinions in, because we're not going to be here tomorrow morning or at noon tomorrow. There's a crunch game going on. So call in now, 315-437-7644. I'm taking another break. I'm rolling home for that pizza pretty soon if you don't call in. All right? ESPN Radio, Syracuse.
Hey, this is former Syracuse basketball player Atan Thomas.
Last season, the Syracuse center became the first Orangeman to be named the Big East Defensive Player of the Year.
And I'm former Syracuse basketball player Eric Devendorf.
Oh! Devendorf!
I don't think Pat likes calling me, guys. He doesn't like me. He maybe that's him on the line, but he He told me I was going to get mine the last time he called, so I'm been walking around like somebody was going to shoot me from behind. We don't get the road game press conferences, guys. I'm ready. I'm going to get invited to a steakhouse and somebody's going to shoot me as I'm walking in. I thought that maybe that was what was going to happen when we went to Prime the other day, because I'm going to get mine for having a disagreeing with Pat's takes. I am shaking in my boots. When that guy said hi to me at the grocery store, I was scared he was going to shoot me, murder me, because I'm going to get mine. Can anybody? Because the offensive system is you get it and you go. There's turmoil. Tell me about this turmoil. I would love to hear it. He's waiting. He's waiting for me to leave so I can get mine. Punch your back at the Veggio. He's going to beat me over the head with an eggplant. What the hell was that? Anybody watching the SMU Pitt game? No, I don't want Jordan to explode. I like Jordan. I'm not going to make a soundbite of Pat. You're going to get yours, Kevin? It wasn't about that, though. It's just karma. He's just talking about karma. I don't even want to. Like, I feel like I want to play the Autry sound, but I don't want to because no matter what he says, it's just going to set people off.
Home of the Syracuse Crunch. ESPN 97.7, 100.1, 1200 and 1440 AM. This is the Burdick Lexus and Burdick BMW postgame show.
Welcome back to the postgame show. I am Paulie. I'm doing the show tonight. 315-437-7644, your last chance to get in calls. Let's go to Jeff in Oswego. Jeff, what's up?
Hey, Paulie.
Hey, what's going on?
The show.
Thank you.
Real quick, we were at the Boston College game on Saturday, and, I'm just wondering about some of these rotations. Chopper Moore is my son's favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
he had 8 points real quick, I think in 7 or 8 minutes, and then Red took him out of the game, which I didn't understand why he took him out because, I mean, he was the high scorer on the team at that moment, and Red just pulled him out for, I don't know if I missed something.
He's not good on defense. But at this point, nobody on the team is good at defense, so I don't know. He clearly got beat early tonight, and it was evident. Like, I was watching for it, so.
Yeah, I didn't know how long he was in tonight. I was having trouble streaming the game, but
no,
he didn't play much then.
No, he wasn't hitting shots tonight either, and he got beat on the first possession of the game, and it was downhill from there. So
it just seemed like he was hot, though. He was hot against Boston. It seemed like he was one of the only guys hitting buckets, and he yanked them. I get the defense part, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's frustrating, you know.
This team doesn't seem to have the want to play defense. And I don't know if that's like, everybody laughs when Steve and I say things like, I don't know if it's coaching. If it happens with a different group of guys, I will say, yeah, it's coaching. This team doesn't have a want to play defense. And I don't know if a coach can make you do that. Chris Bell doesn't know how wide the court is. Like, how many times are you going to be standing out of bounds and catch the ball? Like, you're giving away possessions. Is that coaching? I don't know. Maybe next year, if they're throwing the ball around and there's a player standing out of bounds, like, multiple times in a game. Jaquan Carlos is trying to, he's a senior. And he's trying to feed the post at an angle that somebody who hasn't played anything but CYO knows you can't make that pass. Like, is that coach? I don't know. Petar Marstorovich tonight threw a ball. I've never seen anything. Like, I legitimately said WTF when he threw the ball into the stands. Like, what is going on? Like, what are they thinking out there? I don't know. I don't have the answer. If I did, I would call John Wildhack right now. Let's go to Ryan in Boston. I'm spanning the globe today.
Hey, Paulie, thanks for having my call.
No problem. What's up?
Got a couple quick things to say. I know you want to get to your pizza. First, I'm gonna keep the train going. I like you. I find you entertaining. This is a Love Paulie night tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Second thing, my question to you is, who do you want to return from this current roster to the next year, and what positions rather should we prioritize in the portal?
Well, they're going to need a center, right?
Yeah, and I say center, but I say also, do you prioritize point guard or center in the next year roster? If you return Donnie, he can be like a low post guy. Can Sadiq, I don't know, be somewhere down there as well? But
Coach Autry on his show a couple of nights ago said that he plans on Sadiq White and Freeman being on the court at the same time next year. So
gotcha. So I mean, really, you're looking at
a center, point guard, and you hope JJ's back. You hope Choppa's back, because if he works on his defense in the off season, he'll be good. And I think he's got a good attitude from what I see. I see them on the road and whatnot. He's smiling all the time. I think these guys like playing for Red, you know. But we'll find out. Let's go to the press conference right now. Jordan is saying we have the press conference. So Govendo said, before we get to it, he said, Govendo said, said Freeman saying, I would put it, every loss, I put it a little lower, but I would say it's in the upper 80s. Let's go to Ray in Vegas. What is going on? Is anybody in Syracuse? What's up, Ray?
What's happening, Paulie? How we doing?
Good.
Hey, first of all, I'm a huge fan of your show. I appreciate you being like a rational voice on air here.
Yeah.
10 years ago, we're 25-0, number one in the country. Mm-hmm. We lose to the worst team in the ACC. I think it was like BC.
Yeah.
And so it's just a good reminder. It's like, look, this happens all the time. You know, teams get hot. That was a bunch of talented players that beat us tonight. You really can't blame the coach for that, you know. You can't blame the coach for throwing the ball out of bounds. You can't blame the coach for a lot of the ridiculous, just mental mistakes and turnovers that we make. So, I mean, look, it's irrational to say that we're going to fire Red. Cayenne's going to be great next year. Donnie Freeman got hurt. Cuse makes a post on Instagram. Carmelo comments, tags him. And so, there's people saying we're going to fire Red. Meanwhile, there's Carmelo Anthony on our Instagram supporting the program and supporting Donnie. So I appreciate you. Just wanted to make a few of those points.
Yeah.
It was a tough loss tonight.
People tend to disagree with me on Donnie. I tend to think he'll be back. He wasn't practicing, but he's sitting with the coaches going over defensive rotations during practice. He's working with the coaches. So I think that they will pony up the cash to keep him. I think they will pony up the cash to retain players, and then one center, and you hope you got enough talent in the freshman class to carry you. All right, let's hear from Coach Autry in his press conference right now.
Obviously, it's very disappointing. Falls on me. We played with we just didn't play defense. We just showed up today, gave up 90 points. We talked about what we needed to do, and we didn't do it. So, you can't play this game on one end of the floor and have no interest on the other end. And that's what I felt my team did today. And, and that's why we lost. We had some ups and downs this year, but today was really, I was very, very disappointed in the effort. Had nothing to do with anything else but our effort and playing defense. And we didn't do that at all tonight. Questions?
Red, is it frustrating to you as a coach not to be able to get through to these guys 20-some-odd games into the season? Because we've hit on the same theme several times.
Not like this. All right? We've played against some games, and, some of the games we just a bad start, whatever it is. But, you got to play defense in this game. You got to be tough. You got to get on the floor. You got to have the will and determination to stop people, And we just didn't do that tonight at all. At all.
Is it surprising to you this far in the season to see a performance like this?
I've been around, so, this has happened before, teams, this happens, but, I just thought, we prepared. I thought we had a good couple of days of practice. I just really thought we were more prepared than this. I just did, especially on the defensive side of it. And it's just disappointing, and obviously it's frustrating, but it's just disappointing. It's just unacceptable, to be honest with you. It's just unacceptable.
Coach, like you said, there have been spurts in games where the defense hasn't been there. But was there any moment in tonight's game where you just saw that things weren't going to flip the switch on the defensive end?
Yeah, we clawed back a little bit, and not even clawed back because, it was a 5-7 point game, and we got back, we took the lead, and we came out of the timeout, and I thought we talked about it because it wasn't about the offense. It was about us getting stops. And when we got stops, we got out and got some stuff in transition that we hadn't had, all year. And I thought, that 8 minutes to go, I thought that we would be able to lock in, and we didn't. We just didn't. Just didn't.
Oh, sorry. All that being said, would you mind talking about Matt Cleveland and just what challenges he poses? He's been on a really good stretch for Miami recently.
Yeah, he's a guy, he's a veteran that's been in this league for a while, and obviously, he has a lot of experience. He's been playing well. Today I just thought it was just too easy for him. I just thought he got whatever he wanted, anytime he wanted, and we've played against some other good players, and we've made them work a little bit more. I just didn't think we made him work at all today. I thought he did what he wanted to do today.
Statistically, Eddie was great tonight. What did you think of his performance, especially getting hit early, sitting out a few minutes, coming back?
Eddie gave us, Eddie plays hard. He gave us, he was good. I thought we, could have got it in there a little bit more, but for some reason we couldn't make the passes in there. But I thought he was aggressive. I thought, Eddie plays hard. That's the one thing he does. Every game he brings it. I think, he's, these last, 6 or 7 games, he's really, he's brung it every game.
You talk about defense kind of as a whole, but is there any part of the defense in particular, a specific part where...
It's all the same. It's all. You need 5 guys to play defense. If one guy doesn't do his job, then the defense breaks down, right? And if we get to if they make a missed shot, we got to get the rebound, right? We give certain people certain instructions, certain things to do, and we got to be able to execute those. And typically, we've had some performances where we come up on a short end, but we kind of live with the game plan. Today we just didn't do what we were supposed to do today. That's just frustrating.
Coach, on the other end, when it comes to pushing the ball in transition, when they have 6, 7 guys all over the floor, how important is it to get it out in transition like you did?
Say that again?
When they have a lot of taller players on the floor and it's harder to play half-court offense and swing the ball around the arc, how important is it to get the ball out quickly?
Well, I mean, we've tried to push the ball a lot this year, but not a lot of success. But I thought, again, Miami, they switch, they up, they long and athletic. I thought, offensively, we had some good rhythm at times, and then sometimes we didn't. But, the offense we gave up 90 points. I mean, it's just, you just can't do that.
All set?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Coach Autry. I'm more confused by the last question than anything because the guy said when they have 6 or 7 guys on the floor. No wonder they lost. Oh, you guys, 6 or 7 guys out there. Thank you all for tuning in. It was that was the the Red Autry post-game press conference brought to you by RomanoCars.com. All right. No Orange Nation tomorrow. Cody will be on at 3, and then Brian Higgins will take your calls on this loss. You can all, hopefully, you took my advice and you don't let the losses bug you for more than 5 minutes. All right. But if you're still mad, call Brian. Say something completely irrational and ruin his day. That's what sports talk show hosts sign up for. All right, have a good night, everybody. I'm going home to have a nice frozen pizza from Wegmans. Someone said enjoy your day off. I don't get days off. I'll be in this office working. Probably on Sunny 102 music. So enjoy your night. Good night, everybody. If the worst thing that happened to you is Syracuse losing to the worst team in the ACC, you're okay. Good night, all. Be good to each other.
The Sports Show with Cody Mack.
Cody Mack, Sports Show, ESPN Radio, 97.7, 100.1. On just listen.